translator.
Sorry?
There's no translator.
Okay.
Okay. Yes?
No, because it's no French. I don't know, it's only English. In English.
Thank you. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Apologies for the late start. Can we start with questions for our captain Hugo Lloris first, and then after that we'll move on to questions for our manager Maurizio Pochettino. So can I take the first question for Hugo? If you raise your hand. Questions for Hugo. If there's none, he will go. There we go. Thank you.
Good evening, Hugo. I was wondering if before this game there was any kind of feedback from the Belgian guys in the squad about Gent in particular.
Oh, it's always special games when you play against a team from your country. So obviously it will be special for them, and it's important as a team to win the game of tomorrow, because of course there is 2 legs, but it's always better when you get an advantage on the first leg. But we expect a tough game, and of course if they can advise you a bit about the players, they will do it.
Any more questions for Paul?
Hugo, the Europa League has been viewed as a hindrance in the past. Can you tell us how the players at Tottenham are going to approach the competition this year?
Oh, it's in our mind it has to be like the Champions League. It's still a good competition to win, and I think we are all ambitious, and we want to go as far as possible. But for that, we need to be focusing ourselves, to switch on our mind, to be ready for fight, and football is always about basics. If you see our game against Liverpool, it's not about tactic, it's not about technique. It was more about the spirit, and in a cup game, the spirit is the key. So tomorrow we are aware about the situation. We need to play at 100% because the opponent will be ready to fight and to compete against us.
Riyadh.
Hugo, with the European fixtures coming around again, is there still a lingering regret at all about what happened with the Champions League?
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
Is there still any regret about what happened with the Champions League?
No. We need to turn the page. I think we need to get this disappointment like an experience, and we will fight until the end of the season to get back to the Champions League next season. It's true that it's very tight in the league, but we are in a good position. And there is still an opportunity with the Europa League too for the winner, and I think we all the players we used to repeat that the next step for this generation, for this team, is to live a great experience through competition like the Premier League or the Europa League or the Cup, and try to compete for the trophy, and that's our ambition, and we need to show every time we're on the pitch and we wear this jersey, we need to show our ambition, and we need to do it of course tomorrow.
Adrian, you take a question from Adrian at the front.
Because of how tight it is in the Premier League at the moment, does that add a bit of an extra emphasis to the Europa League because of the route back into the Champions League?
No. It's two things completely different. It's important to take each competition, of course, with the same mentality, with the same spirit, but we need to split the 3 competition. It's 3 different trophies, and as I said, it's still an opportunity to get a trophy. we need to work hard all together, as we used to do, and we need, as I said, to show our ambition on the pitch every time that we have the opportunity to compete.
Hugo, if you could choose between winning the Europa League and the FA Cup, which one would you choose and why? Because surely you must have one that you favour.
Listen, I'm a competitor, and every time I'm involved in a competition, I want to win this competition. And it's not from today; it's from a long time ago when I started to play football when I was a kid. Every time I'm on the pitch, it's to compete and to win the game. So there is no difference between all the competition.
We'll take a question from Tom, and then we'll take one from Gary, and then we'll wrap up on Hugo, okay? We'll start with Tom.
Hugo, this club this century has only won one major trophy. Is that good enough for a club the size of Tottenham?
It's our responsibility to create a great dynamic for this club. I think it's a good opportunity for every player involved in the squad to create the history of this club. But for that, you need to make a lot of effort. You need to be committed with your team, with your club, and to show every time that you have the opportunity to your skills and all together, because we cannot win with one or two players. It's about a team, and all together we can make the history of the club. But it depends only of us and not of the others.
Okay, we'll take one more question for Hugo from Gary.
You mentioned the spirit at the start of it, Hugo. Have the players spoken since Saturday? And if so, what was said? And was there a kind of meeting amongst you? And was there a kind of open expression of some of the views, perhaps? Because you're quite strong about perhaps the spirit not quite being there.
But I don't really like to talk about what's happening in a changing room or in a training ground. I think we are all responsible of this defeat. We were all very disappointed in the way we played, and the most important thing is to show a good response all together, and tomorrow is a good opportunity to do it.
Lovely. Okay, that'll do for Hugo.